Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our cozy little corner of the internet. I'm Pen and today I'll be reading chapter 3 of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made for Us by Zana Lemon. Just so you know, there's one mention, a singular mention, of Dazai antics, just, casual suicide antics, Dazai stuff. And that's all. Have a good day. Let's get into this. Chapter 3. The wooden door swings open. Tria standing in the doorway as he finally sees the hallway outside of his room. He keeps messing with his hair, feeling almost nervous as he takes in his surroundings. His gaze pans over the hallway, three white doors beside his own, framed photos and artwork decorating the beige walls. One of the wooden doors sits slightly ajar, allowing him to gaze at the small bathroom at the end of the hallway. His head snaps to the door in front of him as it opens with a creak. A girl around age 14, with dark purple hair and pigtails, steps out with a small backpack on her shoulders. The little bunny keychain swaying from side to side as she walks. "Kyoka?" Tria asks without thinking. "Yeah?" Her monotone voice responds as her light blue eyes snap to Tria. Tria's eyes widen a little, not having anywhere to go with the conversation he started. Never mind, he chuckles nervously. Kyoka just keeps walking, paying him no mind as her keychain jiggles with each step down the stairs. Tria's gaze follows her, going to walk down the stairs himself as he observes the framed photos on the wall. His eyes are brought to a photo of Koyo and him. Tria looking to be about 15 as they both hold up a framed document, an adoption certificate. Both redheads share a beaming smile. The same adoption certificate sitting above the photo on the wall. There's a matching certificate and respective photo for Kyoka next to his as well. So we're siblings and Koyo adopted us? Tria's eyes search for a photo of Valorine, not finding any certificate or anything of the sort for the blonde. Yet the letter from the flags called him his brother. Are they biological brothers and Valorine didn't get adopted with him? Tria does the math in his head, thinking about what age Valorine would be if he's in college right now, and how old he would be when Tria was 15. Maybe Valorine was already an adult and couldn't be adopted by Koyo? But then why wouldn't Valorine adopt him if Tria needed to be? Was he unfit for such a responsibility? Some questions are bound to be left unanswered, especially when Tria can't just ask the people in this world. He's got to figure it all out himself through clues. He's gotten pretty far so far. He'd make a pretty good detective. Tria follows Kyoka into the small kitchen, sitting next to her as he finds 2 plates of onigiri and an omelette in front of their seats. Koyo slides the 2 bento boxes out of the fridge, setting them next to the redhead and purple net. "Thank you," Kyoka nods softly as she places the bento in her bag. Tria does the same, following whatever Kyoka does. The 2 hurriedly finish their breakfast, Kyoka quickly hugging Koyo as a woman lightly kisses her on the head. Tria gets up from his seat, stacking his and Kyoka's plates up and setting them on the sink. "Thank you, Tria." Koyo ruffles his hair before lifting his bangs up to plant a small kiss on his forehead. "Have a good day. Make sure to walk your sister to school. She's already escaping," Koyo says with a small chuckle. Tria smiles softly at the gesture, not used to having such care and affection, not used to having a family. He follows Kyoka out the door, Kyoka a few feet ahead of him, as they start to walk down the sidewalk. Tria pulls out his phone, searching for the school name he found at the top of his schedule on maps, and making sure he was going in the right direction, realizing that his and Kyoka's school were fairly close to each other. Kyoka's school only a few blocks before his. Tria just follows Kyoka along the way, looking at the route he needs to take once he drops Kyoka off. He decides to catch up to Kyoka, walking beside her as he notices the small white earbuds in her ears. What you listening to? He tries to make small talk. Kyoka just pulls out one of her earbuds, handing it to Tria. Tria puts in the small earbud, being met with heavy metal. Oh. Tria waves as Kyoka enters the junior high building, watching as she catches up to a blonde boy with blue eyes and freckles. Oh, that kid from the agency. Tria smiles softly before continuing down the road. Tria enters the school, pulling his schedule out of his pocket as he reads over it again. Still finding the sight of the people he knows from the mafia being teachers to be jarring. AP Chemistry, Ugai Mori, Just Jim, It's Just Jim, by Hirotsu. Government and Economics by Francis Fitzgerald, AP Calculus by Doppaku Nikita, Creative Writing by Ugai Mushitaro, Lunch and Homeroom, Ugai Mori, English 12, Edgar Rompo, Health Science, Akiko Yasuno. Most of the names on the list Tria recognised but didn't know very well. He obviously knew his boss's name, who he would not trust with children in his original universe, Hirotsu, who was teaching Jim of all things, and the guild guy. There was also the agency's president and the people he assumed would be working there by relative deduction. Oh, and also the perfect crime guy. Brushing off the weird feeling of seeing people he mostly knows as teachers, which he can't wait to see in person, he checks the room number on his schedule as he finds his way to first period. By the time he reaches the classroom, sirens are going off in his head. He passes it off as nerves, but can't seem to shake the feeling that he's not going to have a good day, and the reason is in this room. He enters the room and sees a small group of teenagers he doesn't recognize, but by the way they stare, they definitely know him. He ignores them as he continues to scan the room. No sign of Mori yet. Everything looks good. Tria knew he wouldn't be able to avoid him. They were obviously friends. Tria mentally gags, but he was hoping he wouldn't have to deal with this bandaged fish so early in the morning. Sitting with his head in his arms, Dazai Osamu, the one and fucking only. He wore the same outfit that Tria saw in some of the photos, a pair of dark grey dress pants, a deep blue and white sweater vest sat on top of a white button-down, a dark bluish tie, and his signature bandages of what little you could see around his wrists. Tria noticed how he wasn't sporting his normal bandages around his neck. Being able to see the bare skin that would normally be hidden away by them was quite different. Then again, he showed no sign of the usual scars Tria had once seen in their Port Mafia days. Not wanting to deal with any bullshit, Tria sits at a table a few seats behind, keeping an eye out on the well-known troublemaker. This, for some reason, caused a few looks from the kids, as kids from before seemed almost confused by his seating choice. Tria couldn't care less. Yes, Dazai saw Tria come into the room and sit behind him, and maybe he was a little disappointed that he didn't sit somewhere where he could have had a better view. Maybe he wanted the redhead to sit next to him so he could relish in the sight of an even more human Tria. Watch how all his emotions sat at surface level, readable with just a glance into his icy blue eyes. Tria was already the most human Dazai thought anyone could be, so he was excited to see how that could be stepped up. He always had this sort of admiration for Tria, even if that fact never reaches the light of day. But it is one thing, a fact. Tria was amazing. He was beautiful. Dazai doesn't remember having this strong of an admiration for Tria. Either way, all those feelings disappear as a certain raven-haired boy enters the room. Octa seems to go from deep, soulless black eyes seem to go from a deep soulless black to burning charcoal as they land on the brunette. Dazai watches as the boy makes his way over to him, glancing at Tria in confusion before standing in front of him. Dazai looks at Octa, noticing the cannula tube in his nose connecting to what he assumes to be an oxygen tank in his bag. It's nice to see that his former mentee is getting the proper treatment here. Dazai wonders how he was able to carry something so heavy in his bag before his train of thought gets cut off. "May I sit here, Dazai-san?" Octa expectantly says that Dazai while requesting the seat in an almost army-like fashion. Sure." Dazai hums tiredly. Octa is sitting next to him, not before looking at Tria again as if to check if he'll object. "What's going on?" They sit there in silence as small hints of emotion flicker on Octa's face, as if he's arguing with himself in his head. He suddenly turns to Dazai. "Did you and Tria's fan fight?" Octa asks while glancing back at the redhead. Dazai opens his eyes, caught off guard by the strange question. I'm sorry, it's none of my business. Forgive me for my rudeness." Whoa, calm down. It's fine. I was just wondering what gave you that idea." Dazai reassures him, slowly sitting up to give him his full attention. Octa glances back at the redhead before continuing. "Oh, well, it's just you guys always sit together, and yeah, you guys bicker and all that, but I don't think I've ever seen you this distant while existing in the same room." Dazai ponders over this new information, letting Octa ramble. Yeah, Dazai isn't surprised that he's still a constant thorn in Tria's side. "I mean, you haven't even looked at each other this entire time." Octa leans in, exclaiming quietly. "Why would I need to talk to that slug?" Dazai says while waving him off, feigning boredom and slight disgust. He decides to pry for more information, figuring this out would be the best response. But instead, Octa seems to be taken aback by the response. He shuffles around a bit, thinking on how to respond to such an obvious question. "Dazai-san?" He hesitates. "He's your boyfriend." "Wrap me in bandages and call me Osamu because I want to fucking kill myself." Tria thought this universe was turning out alright. He had a family, the flags, no ancient god tormenting his body, and he was hoping he would be able to finally get a break and live a normal life. But the universe seemed to have different plans for him. Yes, Tria had been listening to their conversation. Call it eavesdropping, he didn't care. There was clearly more pressing matters at hand. Tria stares in bewilderment at the pair before burying his face in his hands. Definitely not because he can already feel the heat reaching his face. Of course not. He's not blushing. He's just angry. Totally. He peeks through his fingers to glance at the pair again and sees Dazai. No, that can't be right. He swears he sees small hints of red, lightly painting the other boy's cheeks, but that can't be possible. Osamu Dazai doesn't blush. Okay, that was chapter 3 of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made For Us. I love this fic, and I'm actually going to be recording chapter 4 right now because I have nothing else to do, and it's 8:45, so I got to get some videos in before going to sleep tonight. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm still literally crying at the wrap me in bandages and call me Osamu because I want to fucking kill myself. That was hilarious, and every time I read that, I tear up from laughter. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to take care of yourself. Don't pull a Tria like he did in this one, and take care of yourself, okay? I'm watching you. Yes, you. Yes, you. Anyway, make sure to take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.